Wait, hold on a second. Are we really doing this again, Warriors Nation? Are we seriously entertaining yet another trade rumor, another perfect fit, another potential savior who's supposed to be the final piece that magically propels us back to championship glory? This time, the name being whispered with reverence, the player being touted as Stephen Curry's ideal partner, is none other than Derrick White of the Boston Celtics. And look, I get it. On paper, it's intoxicating. Elite defense, high basketball IQ, championship experience. All the buzzwords that make fans and analysts alike salivate. But before we all lose our minds and start photoshopping White in a Warriors jersey, let's pump the brakes, take a deep breath, and ask the most important question. Is this actually realistic, or are we just setting ourselves up for another round of disappointment and frustration? The Golden State Warriors have started the 2025-26 season with genuine promise. There's a renewed sense of optimism, a feeling that this team, with its blend of championship veterans and emerging talent, has a legitimate shot at contention. And with that optimism comes an undeniable urgency. The need to find those final pieces, those strategic additions that can accelerate our championship window while Stephen Curry is still performing at an elite level. It's in this context that Derrick White's name has resurfaced, championed by recent articles and specialized programs as a natural candidate to bolster our roster. The arguments in favor of White are compelling, I'll admit. He's lauded for his ability to lock down opposing teams' primary scorers, to disrupt passing lanes with his anticipation and length, and to contribute reliable three-point shooting when the offense needs it. His defensive versatility is genuinely elite. He can guard multiple positions, switch seamlessly, and provide the kind of perimeter intensity that every championship team craves. Furthermore, his contract is considered manageable in terms of salary, a rarity for a player of his defensive caliber in today's inflated NBA market. These are all legitimate strengths, and they're precisely the kind of attributes that would seemingly fit seamlessly into the Warriors system. Some of the most respected names in American sports media have been singing White's praises as a perfect complement to Curry in this twilight phase of the Warriors' golden era. Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report explicitly called him the ideal partner for a more mature Curry, emphasizing that the veteran point guard desperately needs someone with the physical vigor and defensive awareness to alleviate the defensive burden on his shoulders. Other renowned commentators echo this sentiment, reinforcing that White would bring the type of tactical balance Golden State has been seeking for years. Among journalists and fans alike, there's a curious consensus. The on-court fit will be immediate and undeniable, but the likelihood of Boston actually parting ways with him is incredibly slim. And here's the brutal truth. The answer everyone needs to hear but doesn't want to accept. It's highly unlikely that Derrick White will leave the Boston Celtics. Despite the evident interest from Golden State, despite the perfect tactical fit, the Celtics front office views White as a central piece of their current core alongside Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Internally, he's seen as the glue that holds their defensive system together, the unsung hero who makes everything click. Boston has no intention of dismantling that structure anytime soon. In other words, the fit exists, the Warriors' desire is real, but the actual chance of this deal happening right now is minuscule. This is the hard reality we need to confront. For this scenario to change, for the Celtics to even consider moving White, the Warriors would have to offer an absolutely massive package. Analysts suggest that a starting point for any serious conversation would involve Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and at least one future first-round draft pick. Think about that for a moment. We'd be trading a significant portion of our carefully cultivated future, our young, high-upside talents, for an immediate reinforcement. It's the classic dilemma. Do we go all in on the present, betting everything on one last championship run, or do we protect our long-term flexibility and the foundation for the next era? White would undoubtedly elevate Golden State's competitive level, but the emotional and strategic cost of such a trade would be astronomically high. From a purely basketball standpoint, White's impact would be immediate and transformative. He's a multifunctional defender, capable of guarding point guards, shooting guards, and even small forwards and defensive switches. He would provide a crucial layer of security for Curry, allowing our superstar to focus more intently on offensive creation and less on exhausting defensive efforts. He's an intelligent player, accustomed to operating within complex systems, and boasts excellent shooting percentages from mid-range and beyond the arc tactically, he would integrate naturally into Steve Kerr's dynamic, free-flowing style. The on-court synergy is undeniable, but every significant move carries inherent risks. The departure of young talents like Kuminga and Podziemski would inevitably reduce our roster depth and leave the team more vulnerable to injuries. With a long, grueling 82-game season and the intense pressure of the playoffs, the Warriors would need to manage their rotation meticulously to avoid overburdening their veteran core. This is a type of decision that demands absolute clarity and cold, calculated analysis. Strengthening the roster now could come at a devastating cost later. The most probable path forward is that this rumor remains exactly that, a rumor, until the trade deadline passes. Boston is deeply committed to its core and would only consider trading White if presented with an absolutely irresistible offer, something so overwhelming that they simply couldn't refuse. Even so, the mere fact that his name is being discussed so prominently reveals how strongly Golden State still believes in one final, monumental push towards another championship. So, Warriors Nation, let's be real with each other. The tactical fit is perfect. Derrick White would be an incredible addition, a player who could genuinely transform our defense and provide invaluable support for Stephen Curry. But the cost? The cost is staggering. We'd be sacrificing significant pieces of our future, young players with immense potential and valuable draft capital. The central question, the one that should be keeping every Warriors fan up at night, is this: is it worth sacrificing our future for one last desperate run at a title? This is a debate we need to have, the uncomfortable conversation we can't avoid. Are we willing to mortgage tomorrow for a chance at glory today? The answer isn't simple, and it's deeply personal. But one thing is certain: we can't afford to be blinded by wishful thinking. We need to approach this with clear eyes and a realistic assessment of what's truly possible. What do you think, Warriors Nation? Is Derrick White the answer? The player who finally completes this roster and delivers another championship? And more importantly, are you willing to see Kuminga, Podziemski, and future draft picks leave the Bay for that chance? Let us know your honest thoughts in the comments below. If you believe this is a move the Warriors should seriously pursue, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest Golden State Warriors news, analysis, and the tough conversations we need to have. Let's keep it real.